Yo, what's up? It's where Homie Do Well, giving another Mount Panorama race a crack. Daily race A at the moment. We are still on pole, but I've improved my lap time. We've now got a 2:04.6. Bassett has returned. He has also improved his lap time. He's starting in second. He had a couple shit moments in the last race, which I uploaded. But he was also very, very quick and kept catching back up the field and everything like that. So this could be a fun one. We'll see how we go. Fingers crossed it all works out. Now my internet is terrible tonight as well. It's pretty laggy. We'll see how this goes. They are well off the pace already. Don't know what's happened there.
So I've worked out what happened here. This is all done in post now. For whatever reason, Bassett just wasn't able, the automated AI, the way they hold you at the start of the race, he just wasn't able to keep up. It dropped him back like 6 or 7 seconds behind immediately, which means, you know, I'm already racing off here, and as soon as he actually gets to the line right now, I'm already at the apex of turn 1. So that's what happened to Bassett. Anyway, from here guys, I'm just going to jump ahead and kind of skip through this one because not much happens. Opening lap, a 2:10.7, so a decent opening lap. And the next one, 2:06.2, followed up with another 2:06.2. So following lap, just while this gap gets bigger to Bassett, I go a 2:05.9. I then follow that one up finally here as we come toward the end of the race, out to a 15-second lead now. So nice and easy over the line. I'll go faster again for a 2:05.7, and that is one of the easiest races I've had around Mount Panorama. So jumping ahead to the next race here, continuing on, same lap time. I've clearly gone up a weight class because I'm now starting second. This race is interesting. It doesn't go too smoothly for me, I'll be honest, as you're about to see. I'm going to do kind of the same thing where I whip it forward at points here, but start of the race, hit my breaker mark, turn 1, perfect, heading up the mountain, into turn 2, just kind of wanted to feel this guy out, was kind of the plan. So hit my brake marker, turn 2, stay with him, keep it within that slipstream, or try to anyway, below 7.5, he's just got out of it there. It's early days, can still catch him for sure. And yeah, you just kind of like the first lap for me, especially if I'm not starting on pole, I tend to struggle and I push a bit too hard, I miss my brake marks or I get distracted by people behind me. That's kind of what happens coming up here actually. I go a touch wide, nick the curb, and I just kind of follow this guy off the track. And then from there it's a slide, it's a save, it's a slide, cut the corner, he goes into the wall. I know I'm going to get a penalty at this point. It's guaranteed. There was half second to a second penalty depending on how much time you gain. There it is, penalty, half second. I was like, well, that sucks, but that's alright, we'll keep going. So try and just stay as close to him, get a good exit, kind of grind the wall there. Coming up to a half second penalty, and if you've had a penalty in this game before, you know that a half second penalty isn't a half second penalty. It's about a 4-5 second penalty on a straight. So second goes past, third goes past as we head into the chase for the first time, and fourth is right behind me. You can kind of see him on the radar, and I'm looking at that and I miss my braking marker, I missed the turning point, chuck it on the grass, and fourth goes past. So we'll whip it forward again, coming up to the top of the mountain. I just kind of want to prove that I can get this corner right at this point. So keep it on the track through McPhillamy, into Skyline, down toward the Dipper. Perfect, much better. Unlike Jonesy, who binned it himself. So I guess what goes around comes around, because I got one back on him. Heading out toward the chase, see if I can, you know, string together some laps here. It's still early, still fourth. Could certainly be worse, so
sitting in fourth.
powering on, trying to keep composure, everything like that. Start chasing them. You can see up here they're fighting up ahead, so they're going to be losing time, you know, side by side, 2 by 2. It's not the quickest way around a circuit. So yeah, just keeping that chase on, trying to string together laps. It's already back down to 1.6 seconds, so you know it is working. Hit my brake marker, turn it in. That final corner is very deceiving. You need to slow down a lot more than what you think. I kind of use, I think there's a 150 board there, roughly where I brake at. Early into, I believe it's Hell Corner, before heading back up the mountain, lost time. Lost half a second. We'll whip it forward here as, what happens here? Someone goes wide. I think it's me again. It is. I've been it. Bang, straight into the wall, drop back down. Jonesy goes back past, thus proving that I also can't keep it on the track over this area. And then I lose another position, and then like an idiot I park it on the apex. Luckily I'm ghosted, so I don't actually get in Mossy's way, but that's exactly how not to rejoin the track. Whoops, it's the only thing I can really say there. We head out here and I go wide and park it at Forest. 7th goes past, 8th goes past. So just an absolute shocking run for me here. So yeah, pretty subpar run for me there. Coming out of Forest though, you know, still close enough to the car in front that it's not completely over. You know, I can certainly try and salvage something out of this. So heading into the chase now, going to hit the brakes, try and pull it up, miss the turning point, run wide. However, we're facing the right way, unlike Labrat here, which means we're going to gain one, we're going to go past him, and the chase will continue. Keep going here, we'll whip it forward a bit, just trying to stick to this guy here. He's you can tell he's kind of uncontrolled the way he's shaking around a bit, so he's jerking left and right, very touchy on this, on the steering, which means, you know, clearly using a controller. But yeah, you can kind of see he's also a fair bit slower. He dabs the brakes here, he throws it in. You can't pass over this section. This section's so thin, so narrow that it's kind of like Monaco, I guess, in the sense that it's very, like, it's super difficult to overtake over the mountain. If you go too wide at any point, as I just throw it into the wall before Skyline there, you know, if you go too wide at any point, it's going to do both of the cars no good at all. So kind of my entire thought process here is get ready to throw it out of the elbow, try and get a really good exit, and try and get him at the chase. So I'm going to make sure I'm within the slipstream here as we leave Forest Elbow and head down Conrod. Am I in the slipstream? Well and truly there. So anything below 7.5 is in the slipstream, I believe. So we are in it. So as long as I can kind of catch him at the turning point here before the big break, I should be able to go up the inside. But he just kind of nails his braking marker, and I can't do anything about that. So, you know, back to a single file, throw it behind him, keep on the accelerator, try and get good exits, see how we go. Fortunately for me, he gets a pretty poor exit from this corner here. So he just dips 2 on the grass there, slides it a bit, so we're on here. So I'm going to get in behind him, look down the inside, and I just clean him up. So, you know, I do the right thing, I give him the position back, and we will see what happens. We'll kind of keep going, you know, no harm, no foul. Chuck it behind him, back in the slipstream, play on. Bit of a bump, bit of a touch, but it happens, you know. I could have just driven off, but didn't really want to. He defends the inside here up to turn 2, so I say, okay, I'll just throw it around the outside, and he brakes probably 25-30 meters too early, and that's a pretty easy move around the outside, especially now that I've got the inside for 3 and 4 through the cutting. That's that one's job done. But from here we're just going to whip it forward, final lap, nothing else happens, and and we will cross the line in 6th there with a pretty average 2:10 final lap. So on to the next one here, once again, just like the first race, now starting in pole, which will be good. We start this one pretty easily, honestly. Managing the gap, it's not quite like the first race where it was bugged out, but you know, he's just within slipstream range here now as we head up the hill, so he's going to be with me kind of the whole way. Well, I'm pulling away a touch, so it's right on that cusp. Heading into turn 2 here, just like it's super important the first lap, like I was saying earlier in this video, to hit your braking markers, just trying to, you know, put your head down, focus on what's in front of you, not so much what's behind you, especially when you're on pole. So come in here through the cutting, you know, hit the brake just as you throw it in, just to kind of settle the rear of the car. It's not that you can't make it through there on full, but especially cold tyres first lap, just touch the brakes, settle the car, get it in. Coast it through there, through Solomon Park now as you head up over the top of the hill, flying here into McPhillamy. Right before Skyline, I go slightly wide, but it doesn't kill me the way it did earlier in this one as well. Bit squirmish under brakes again, cold tyres, everything like that, just not quite up to temp while pushing pretty hard. Still get a decent exit out of the dipper. Slinging it now into Forest Elbow, go slightly wide there, which means my entry point into the forest is narrow. But we'll cross the line there with a 2:08.7 as we'll actually start what ends up being my best lap of the race despite being wide there. I missed my braking marker just, and then there's this little groove where if you hook the left side of the car up in it, you kind of slingshot you around that corner. I missed it by maybe a metre on the turning point. But still, you know, recovered pretty nicely, got a decent exit. Just slamming on the brakes there, just past the 100 board, throw it in nicely, using the hill to kind of help slow the car down. At that point, you can really slingshot the car through there. Through turn 3, kind of just coasting, and then on the brakes into 4. Get it down into 2nd there, so that way you can drive it out of the corner, hopefully without the wheel spin. Early change to 3rd, early change to 4th. Coast it to the apex before getting back on the gas. Which means you can throw it all the way through here, get into 5th nice and early as you come over the hill. Just sets up your run into McPhillamy really nicely. You just turn right before the crest and then right after. You kind of want the car to be straighter. There's a little crest there where if you're turning left or you're wide of it, it'll really throw the car wide or throw you into the wall. Down through the dipper, 3rd gear, all the way out, 4th. Just off the accelerator, I touch the brake again there just to settle the rear of the car. Throw it through the elbow, on the gas early, and set yourself up for the chase. It's pretty tidy lap when you look at it that way, but there's been a lot of messy ones between it, for sure. But I definitely spent my fair share of hours going around this circuit. I absolutely love this track. I just find it unreal. Yeah, throwing it through the chase, right on the 150 board, stamp on the brake, make sure you get the car turned in early, because you can kind of run the right side of the car over the exit curb there, and it can catch you. Hit the braking marker, turn it in early, and then yeah, I like 2nd in that corner rather than 1st. That's not too bad. Cross the line for a 2:05 flat. Next lap, 2:05.2. At that point, Polly says, "Wow, that's an amazing time." Snake Bacon then agrees, and then we cross the line doing a 2:05.6, heading us into the final lap. We've just managed this 5-second gap back to 2nd the whole race, and it's gone really well, honestly. This was easily one of my most consistent races. 2:08 opening lap, and then a 2:05 flat, 2:05.2, 2:05.6, and then a 2:05.8 to end. And yeah, really good race, honestly. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.